So, a recent study said women are choosing not to be leaders. I don't know how viable this study is, but just because it exists, I want to address this because there's a lot of obstacles, apparently, to women being leaders, or there's a bias to women being leaders. But in reality, it's a choice. It's a personal choice that we all make. So there may be some truth to this, and there may not be truth to it. As many other studies, like I said, who knows, because you have to look at where it comes from and who funds it. I'm Tracy Crossley. I'm a behavioral expert and a podcast host, along with being the game changer for women leaders. So I want to help women to reinvent their lives from the inside out, because that is the only way to live. Here we are, and we're talking about women in childbearing years, perhaps. Maybe they struggle to become a leader because they have so many competing priorities. I raised 3 children, part of the time as a single parent, and I will say that it was a juggling act for sure. But I did not have to sacrifice being a leader or not. In fact, the way that I am, my personality, I'm always going to choose to be the leader. That's just how I roll. And I think for a lot of women leaders, we just roll that way. We are independent. We make decisions on the fly. And so that's why when I talk about this study, I'm not quite sure if it's really inclusive of most women leaders. So you have to look at the environment, right? When you have a child, or even without, how conducive is it to a woman who has other interests? We have other priorities in life, right? Wouldn't it be nice to have balance, in other words? So for a lot of us, we don't really look at, hey, I can be a leader, let's say, and not have to sacrifice or not have to give up my personal life, because I went through years and years of giving things up to be a leader, because I just thought, I've got my eye on the goal. This is what I have to do. Yes, I raised children, but outside of that, I was pretty particular about how I spent my time. And I felt like if I was working, I was actually, let's say, taking care of some emotional issue that I had, which was I didn't want to deal with my emotions. So, hey, work mentally stimulated me, made it really easy for me to just sink right into that. But I'm not every woman, and all women are different. So women leaders in their lives, personally and professionally, have to look at, is this something I want to do? Sometimes we want someone else to lead us, but most people that are leaders don't really do a good job of being led in that way when it comes to letting somebody else make the choices. We want to make our choices. Everybody does. All humans do. We just have to accept them and not worry about other people accepting them. So what are qualities that make women great leaders? I believe most women who feel called to something that inspires them. It has to be beyond money, right? It has to be you feel called to do something at a level that you would do it alone, even if you didn't have anybody to help you, because you feel that inspired by it. I feel also good women leaders are women that know how to delegate, women that are empathetic, women that are strong, are assertive, can make decisions and not worry about what everybody else is going to think, because that's a big part of what women don't do. We become afraid of what the rest of the world's going to think about our choices. And there are many more characteristics too that make a great woman leader, but a lot of these things get in the way when you have insecurities about it and you think that nobody is going to be on your team, or nobody's really going to accept you if you go against the grain. Or if you do go against the grain, to actually go along with things is uncomfortable as well, right? Both different sides of the spectrum. It's all of these points that really leave women out in the cold in their own lives because they don't take that step forward into being an unlimited leader. So older women in leadership, there needs to be older women in leadership. It goes without saying, the older I get, I realize how much more I know, because of not just my experiences, but because of how much I've grown and I've changed as a person and as a leader. And I believe that older women can be a gold mine, a resource of information and leadership, because there is this word called confidence. Confidence that comes not just, again, through the time you've given, but the risks you've taken, from the things you've experienced, and you've watched yourself be resilient. That makes great female leaders that are older. So it's to think about those things and go, okay, am I holding myself back, or do I know somebody who'd be a great leader, but she says, I think it's too crowded of a playing field. There's not enough opportunities, blah, 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 whatever the story is. And maybe you can share this with her, because the truth is it takes a village, right? It takes a village of women. So, and of course we have to, include men in this. It's not just women. We are including men. So I want my women leaders to take a stand with me, and let's show the world how great women can be together, connected. So I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every week I have a new video coming out, and I'll be sharing tips to help women leaders reinvent how they live and lead from the inside out. And this includes all aspects of business. So please stay tuned for more videos that include mindset, but also include other aspects of being a leader. Take care.